A couple weeks have now passed since Shiba-san officially joined the OC. And look at me immersing myself in the game, right? I just took a 2-week break from recording any of these, so you know, it's been a couple weeks. Admittedly, I was sick, so I have a little bit of a different reason for having a couple weeks past, but I'm glad that Shiba-san is officially a member. The student council elections have come and gone already. In the end, Koshiji-san was the only candidate. She seamlessly took over as student council president after the approval vote. I'm glad that we had a good conclusion to that. As a result, Tokukushi-senpai was able to retire without worry. Nothing has really changed on our side of things. We've been doing fortune-telling, resolving people's problems, and retrieving fragments like usual. It hasn't been exactly easy so far. There have been several cases that have left us stumped, no matter how hard we thought. And sometimes things ended up differently than what our clients had hoped for. Well, that's life, you know, you don't always get what you want. And sometimes you get something, you get a surprise, you know? Life's about surprises, right? Still, most of our clients walk away happy that they visited us. That always puts a smile on my face to see. And as the hole in my heart closes through the experiences, fragments have been returning to Ayachi-san's bottle. At first, I was worried if I could return any fragments at all, but now returning them all is looking like a real possibility. Okay.
このカードは人への優しさを表します。優しい気持ちや落ち着いて行動することで状況が前向きに転がることを意味してます。
So things are going well, right? Where's the plot twist come in?
それって具体的にはどうすればいいと思う?
Because we do have our full cast of characters now. Like we have been introduced to Shiba, and I want to see what that kind of does to our dynamic. I mean, we've kind of gotten to see that through the past like couple episodes, but I want to see now that we're kind of introduced to all the characters, we're in a new chapter, and things are progressing, where this is going to take us.
そうですね。まず落ち着いて相手の話を最後まで聞いてあげるところから始めてみるのがいいんじゃないでしょうか。
That is something you could do, or you could gaslight your friend.
相手の話を最後まで。わかった。ありがとう、あやちさん。
Just gaslight your friend into believing that everything that goes wrong is their fault.
参考にしてみるね。はい。また何か困ったことがあればいつでもどうぞ。
But to be honest, Nene's idea is probably a little bit better. We'll go with hers. The girl leaves the club room looking satisfied. You did great.
ありがとうございます。最近は相談というよりも占いの方が多いですね。そうですね。占いだけっていうのも結構あったりするの？はい。悩みを抱えているというよりも後押しをしてほしい人もたくさんいますからね。
I'll tell you why that is. The people with the serious issues like depression, anxiety, PTSD, like the big things in life that really like prevent you from being your best self, that they're not going to go to people for help, okay? They think that there's no hope. They think that it's a punishment in a way, and I'm speaking from personal experience. Like it feels like you're just kind of alone. Nobody really is going to understand you. And the reality is, like, yeah, some problems are your own. That's absolutely true, right? But there's a lot of people out there that like suffer from similar things, and I think it's better to kind of learn from others, like how to embrace it and how to kind of get through it in a more healthy way than just bottling it up and not talking to anybody about it. I think that just continues to compound the problem. And sometimes you go through points in your life where you're like, okay, I need to do my own thing. I need to push everyone away. I need to be alone, right? And I don't think that's like totally wrong, but you can't do that forever, right? Yeah, and some people just need a push on the back. Sometimes people just need a friend. They just need someone to listen to them, and they'll figure it out on their own.
ああ、そっか。確かに自分の中で結論は出てるけどっていう場合もあるよね。
Oh, I have that problem going on right now. Like I'm in the middle of changing jobs, and I'm like, do I want to move to this new opportunity? I mean, it's not like it's bad. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I'm excited about it. Whereas I could pursue something else. I'm kind of in a similar situation at the moment. It's probably a good thing considering the time of year.
定期テストが近いですからね。 悩みがあってもまずは目の前のテストに集中したい人が多いですよね。
Gotta study up myself.
先輩ってそういうとこ意外と真面目ですよね。
Well, I didn't have anything else to do other than studying before joining the OC.
じゃあ
Such a sad
点
life.
数はいい方なんだ。
Nothing worth bragging about. I'm just above average, I'd say. I mean, that's good.
先輩は絶対に赤点追試で簡単な問題で合格するという省エネタイプだと思ってたのに。
Wow, how rude.
めぐるちゃんは成績いいの？
Like I said, I think Shuji is kind of a bland character in a way. I feel like he didn't have much of a life before, you know, all this happened. Or at least they tried to portray it that way. I don't think it's really that way, but they tried to portray it like, oh, you know, I was just kind of studying and on my own, and then I met all these cute girls, and suddenly my life's great. Like, that's kind of what happens in a lot of these. I don't really like that concept. I like a character that already has something established. I feel like that makes for a better story. Like, I think a character, and I know I've done this comparison already, but I'll make it again. Toru from Happy Mayor. He had a backstory before we, like, kind of got to the point where the game starts. Which I like. I like a character that already has things going on and that they can reference as the story goes by. I feel like we don't have much of that with Shuji, and maybe we'll get to see that. But I feel like it's going to be more tacked on rather than them explaining it right now. Like, oh, I have this backstory right now during the common route. It's going to be something that he uses later to maybe relate to people. But I don't know. The one thing he does have going on is that his mother died. And that's, I think, where they're trying to pull a backstory from. So we'll see how that goes. If that's good, then I'll take back everything I just said. Because I do feel like a lot of these backstories, like I said, just kind of feel tacked on. I want a good backstory. I want it to be fleshed out. Are your grades good, Megaru-chan? Wow, that doesn't surprise me. I feel like she just probably plays games. Oh, club activities will put on a mandatory break starting next week as midterms near. You should have plenty of time to study. I know where you're coming from, but you're only hurting yourself by not studying. I don't want to hear it. Get out of here with your facts and logic. Inoue-san shakes her head with her hands covering her ears, and Shiba-san attempts to pacify her. The two of them seem to be fitting in great here. I do think so. Oh, we're actually seeing more Koshiji. I'm glad that they're making her kind of a more reoccurring character. And maybe this will be a good thing now that Touko's kind of out of the student council, so that we can possibly pursue her later. I don't know. I like how they did that whole thing. I actually think it was well done. And I thought the reasoning for her not wanting to take the position was rather different than a lot of things. I like that one a lot. I mean, it's not to be unexpected. I mean, I consider this kind of a romancy visual novel, right? Like, am I wrong to... you're dating the girls, okay? That's the point. That's the purpose. It's a romancy kind of... So, I think it fit the kind of the theme. Like, you know, not wanting to do something because the person you love won't be there anymore. I don't know. I didn't think it was too bad. It's been a while. Thanks for back then, and congrats on becoming president. Oh, she's saying I hope to forget, like, everything that happened during that. Okay, okay. I was gonna say, are you hoping to forget the fact that you're student council president? Because you're not gonna be able to forget that, okay? There's a lot of responsibility. That's not possible. I'm sorry, you're welcome. Really put my foot in my mouth with that one. She's got to get over it. You know, it happened. We're the ones who convinced her that it would be a better thing to do it. So it might sting a little bit still, but she'll be fine. Maybe be able to sense other people's feelings. That doesn't stop me from screwing up like this. I just don't have enough experience talking to people. what Hisashima-sensei told me is really hitting home right now. So what brings you here today?
ちょっとね、挨拶も兼ねて話があるんだ。
Oh, okay. Well, greetings, and what do you want to discuss?
あやちさんが部長でいいんだよね。
Yeah, we like to think so.
はい、私がオカルト研究部部長、あやちねねです。
I don't think these two had much conversations before.
この度学生会長になりました越路美穂です。今後ともよろしく。よろしくお願いします。それで挨拶も兼ねてというのは
I don't know if Ubisoft ever does like fan disc. I know some of the other ones like right, what's the game I'm thinking of? I can't think of it. I know a lot of other visual novels, they'll do like little fan discs and stuff. I would love a fan disc where like Koshiji and Touko got together. I think that would be great. Or if we got together with Koshiji, you know, because why not? Let's just like test our riz. Can we make a girl that only likes girls like us? You know, like I just want the challenge. Okay, I just want to see if we can do it. Shuji, I don't know if Shuji could do it. I like what ifs though. Like I don't really care if it's like plausible that we would get together with them. I like when they try to make it plausible, like, oh, you know, here's a scenario and this is how it happened. Like I like when they try to do that, but it usually doesn't turn out too great. But I like what ifs. I like what if we got together with this character. Like what if we got together with the teacher, you know? Like they could have done a little fan disc just showing how that would have happened. But alas, it won't happen. I just want to date everybody. I want to date Nanao. Is that her name? I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I played. I want to date them all. I did play a visual novel, and I'll say it was really good at the time. I mean, it probably isn't great compared to all the ones I've been playing. But I did play one that you actually could get with your best friend character. Like, you could get with another guy, which I thought was funny. I don't feel like visual novels usually do that, but I don't think it was made by a Japanese developer. That's probably why. I just thought it was funny because I was trying to get into a certain girl's route, and I didn't realize that you have to make very specific choices to get into hers. Like, you cannot mess up at all. And so I of course messed up. I was doing it blind, and I got together with the best friend. And I was like, what the heck? It was so funny. Oh! Best girls here. Okay. Konnichiwa.
戸隠先輩、どうかしたんですか？それが、ごめんなさい。どうして戸隠先輩が謝るんです？実は以前から言ってた物質の件なんだけど。物質の件って何ですか？
For a while, Aichi-san was the only member of the OC. The problem was you need at least 3 members to be recognized by the school as a club. Soon Cass was willing to look the other way for a little bit, but still said that if Aichi didn't find additional members, she would have to vacate the room.
そうなんだ。でも今は星名くんにめぐるちゃん、私も入部したから合計4人だよね。
Did we not like meet a deadline or something?
名義貸しの幽霊部員ってわけでもないですしね。もう問題ないのでは？そうなんだよね。私としてもそのつもりだったんだけど、本当に申し訳ないです。ですからどうして謝られているのか、その説明をしてほしいんですが。それなんだけど、部員が揃えば今まで通りにこの部屋を使えるって。
I do remember you saying that.
その反応はごめんなさい。本当にごめんなさい。部員の数だけじゃダメでした。つまり私たちはこの部室から出ていかなければいけない。今のままだと。
So what was the other requirement? Is it just because we got the members too late? Dun dun dun. What you're saying is even though we have enough members, it's not clear that we're engaging in proper club activities.
最初はさ、会長じゃないか。もう戸隠先輩か。とにかく最初は先輩が言うように部員の数だけだったんだよね。実際人数さえ揃えば現状維持ってことになる予定だったんだよ。
Well, I'm assuming that Sashima Sensei wouldn't care. I don't think Koshiji cares if we keep the room. So who's the one behind us leaving the room?
でもおかけんは一体どんな活動をしてるのか。そもそも活動実績はって学院側から話をされてね。
I'll have you know, we're molding young minds here. Now disregard my comment about gaslighting her best friend at the start of the video. We don't count that, okay? Because we didn't go along with it. But hey, we've done some pretty awesome things. We helped a lesbian confess to her crush. Okay, that was noteworthy. Did she get turned down? Yes, but at least she did it. And then hey, she ended up becoming the student council president because we got that all figured out. I think that's pretty great. Okay, I would say that's a noteworthy accomplishment. We made sure that there was a student council president. We did so much work into that. Like, what do you mean we noteworthy? All we've been doing is noteworthy things, and then we have tons of other stuff. I think that's just the most recent one, okay? But we've helped a lot of people. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about not doing something noteworthy.
多分部室のない他の学生の声があったからだと思うんだけど。
Okay, tell them to come in here. I'll fight them, okay? That's what we gotta do. Shuji's gotta man up. We'll fight him.
本当にごめんね。何でもお詫びします。
We'll duel them, okay? If you beat me in a duel, you get the room, okay? This doesn't have any Tokukushi senpai said it. What is? It's not like she lied to us or anything. It's just the school administration always has to have their say. And yeah, freaking politics and bullshit.
今何でもって言っちゃったけど、やらしいお詫びには答えられないから。
Why is Touko always saying that? I feel like Touko is this like, in her mind, is this like good like Christian girl, and you know, it's like, oh, I would never, you know, and then she ends up going and sleeping with the first guy that like catches her interest. But I don't know. I don't feel like she's interested in a lot of guys. And don't find offense by me saying that with Christians, because I'm Christian myself, so I can make fun of us, okay? I just think that she's trying to put on this act. She's like, oh, don't do anything dirty, but you're the only one mentioning something dirty, huh? Okay? I say that to me.
さっきから私のことをまじまじと見てたからつい。
No.
しまった。
And I'm saying no, you're not wrong. I'm not saying no, I haven't been staring at you. I have been. But no.
先輩。マジ引きますわ。
What is this?
星名くん、屋上へ行こうか。話をしよう。
Freaking me out a little, Koshiji-san. Look, my thoughts were perfectly pure, okay?
じゃあ、何を考えてたんですか?
When did this become a conversation about, what? I don't understand. What's with the sudden shift? Itsuka's wondering if everything would be okay if we had something to show for our efforts.
それならいいけど。
Yeah, we were literally just talking about how to save the club, and then all of a sudden it's about me being a pervert. I haven't done anything.
そこは星野くんの言う通りだよ。学院側もおかけんを廃部にしようとしてるわけじゃないから。
And hey, let's be honest, guys. With a chest like that, who's not staring? Okay, I don't care if you're a boy or a girl, or they. That you can be anybody. And you can appreciate that. Okay. We still have a chance to turn this around.
ですが、時期が問題ですね。
It is kind of a bad time, but hey, I was wondering what kind of drama we're gonna have now, because we just started a new chapter and we had nothing exciting going on.
というと、文化祭は春に終わってしまっています。文化部なので対外試合なんてできませんし、オカルト研究部の大会なんて聞いたことありません。
Can't even imagine what that would look like. I take it you didn't do anything for the cultural festival.
ごめんなさい。
Hey, it was only her. Like, what was she supposed to be doing? So I'm not blaming you for
で
anything.
も何か考えないとまずいよね。この部屋から出ていかなきゃいけなくなるなんて。
I've never heard a character say deep doo-doo before. I can't say that I have.
まあ落ち着いて。一つこっちで代案を考えたから。と言ってもそれを考えてくれたのは戸隠先輩。こんな事態になったのはもともと私の責任だから、これぐらいのことはさせてもらわないと。
I mean, to be fair, she does owe us one because we did kind of solve the whole student council thing.
でも一体どうやってですか？
Like, don't be the type of person that if you do something nice for somebody that you're constantly expecting them to do something back. But you know, I think friendship just kind of, sometimes you help them, sometimes they help you. Doesn't need to be big. Doesn't need to have monetary value. You just do things for each other because you care.
もうすぐ秋の中間考査があるよね。
I say that because I've known a lot of people who will go out of their way to do something. Like for me, and I'm speaking from personal experience again, they've gone out of their way to do something for me or my family, and then later they're like, oh, I did that thing for you and it was a lot of money. Like they start making up they start spouting the most bullshit I've ever heard. I've been saying that word a lot, but you know, there's just a lot of it in the world. Okay, they started like spouting a bunch of stuff after the fact, after they did something. I'm like, really? You made a big deal about how you wanted to do this, right? You inserted yourself, and now you're like trying to get a little bit of money out of it, or you're trying to get a favor. Like that's what I think about that. I would do some other things, but I'm not allowed to show those on camera.
確かにありますけど、テストでおかけの実績が作れるんですか？さすがにテストでは無理かな。転入してきたシーバさんと1年生の稲葉さんは知らないかもしれないけど、秋の中間考査の後にパーティーが催されるの。
We're good at throwing parties. I bet we could do that.
パーティー？そう、ハロウィンパーティー。
Hell yeah, we can just the girls can just come in their costumes. But I mean, people can't see them, and that would actually be really inappropriate for school. They could do something like a more clean version of it. That's right, there was one last year too. Now that you mention it, is there one every year?
そうだよ。いつから始まったのかは私も知らないんだけど、代々行われてるものだよ。
I want to see Touko as a sexy witch. If it's not happening, I don't even want to continue.
パーティーで占いを披露すればいい。まあそれでもいいんだけど、先輩、そこからは私が。あくまで学生会からの依頼ですから。
Good Koshichi taking initiative.
ごめんね、出しゃばっちゃって。いやー、まだまだ癖が抜けてないみたい。
Touko, I could listen to you talk all day. So if you still have more to say, you can say it to me privately. Just not in the library. We don't go in there.
いいえ、気にしないでください。そんなお茶目な先輩も。
Gay. But it's okay. We're not saying anything bad about it. It's just cute. Letting your true self show.
さすがにすぐには気持ちが切り替わらなくて。ということで、おかけに依頼したいことがあります。ハロウィンパーティーの企画とか準備とか、つまり運営をやってくれないでしょうか。
I mean, yeah, sure. I'm totally down to do that. I think our club would probably be the most appropriate for Halloween, considering we're dealing with like a cult. We literally have a skull. Like, look behind her. We literally have a skull. There's one of the decorations already taken care of. And then we have like a knife or something in here. We have a lot of decorations already, and I'm sure we could get some more.
すみません。どうしていきなりパーティーの運営という話？
No, Nene. Don't question this. They're trying to give us an opportunity to prove our value in this school.
ハロウィンっていうイベントはオカルト研究部の雰囲気にぴったりでしょ？
That's why I like Touko. She's smart. She's pretty. She's got big eyes. You know what I'm saying?
あと人助けもしてる部活。だからその知識を生かしつつパーティーを運営することで人助けの実績もできるというわけ。
Is that really gonna fly? Won't changing things up to let us handle everything make some people upset.
そこは問題ない。ほら、今年の選挙は時期が遅かったでしょ？
That's beside the point.
そのせいで引き継ぎも大慌てでね。何人か新しく入った子もいるから、しかもその上中間考査の勉強もしなくちゃいけない。 だからパーティーの方まで手が回らなくてさ。
Oh, but we
実
have
際に
time.
人手が足り
Okay,
なくて困ってるんだよ。
I see.
これを受けてくれれば不満は私が言わせない。もし仮に出たとしてもこっちで対応しておく。
Wouldn't say you owe me. Thanks, though. I appreciate
仮っ
it.
て何ですか？いやいや、まあ個人的なことだよ。気にしないで。ああ、そうですか。
Makes us look good when we say that we helped girls privately.
ということで、
Got that riz,
以
you
前
know?
の約束と変わっちゃったのは申し訳ないんだけど、今回の依頼で手を打ってくれないかな。パーティーを文句なくこなしてくれたら、今度こそ学生会が責任を持って部室を維持させてもらうから。ありがとうございます、小獅子さん。戸隠先輩、お困りでしたら手伝わせていただきますが、ただこういったイベントは部室の件を抜きにしても私たちだけでなく他の多くの学生にも影響を及ぼすことなんですから。
It's a little over a week until the midterms. Then there's the week the midterms are held. Another week after that, before the test results are released, the party is scheduled to be held the following weekend. Okay, I mean, so there's quite a few weeks, yeah. It's about 3 weeks total, but we still need to study for our test too. That really doesn't leave us much time for this.
そこは当然の心配だと思う。失敗するのはまずい上に、何も知らない人間だけに任せるのは学生会としても無責任だ。そこで再び私の出番というわけ。
Alright, teachers aside, no one at the school knows more about this stuff than you.
そういうこと。私がおかけに来たのは謝罪とお手伝い、その両方のためだよ。
I was wondering when Touko was gonna kind of like be more a part of the group, because, you know, being in the student council would have made that really hard. It seemed like she had a lot of responsibilities, and this is like the perfect opportunity and like perfect way to like kind of segue her into the group. I think this will be really cool because I feel like Cafe Stella really focused on the holidays as far as like Christmas goes. I would love if this really focused on Halloween kind of being this big romantic event for us, right? Like it's kind of the segue into us getting into like routes and things like that. I think that would be really cool.
1年の頃から学生会で働いていたからね。こういうことは任せておいて。でもいいんですか？
She winked at us.
先輩は学生会を引退されたのに、おかけんとの約束を守れなかったのは完全に私がやり残した問題だから気にしないでほしいな。ということで、今日からオカルト研究部に入部する戸隠東子です。よろしくね。
Wait, what? Oh, am I reading this correctly? Is she officially joining, or is this like, hey, I'm gonna be like kind of your pseudo member?
ありがとうございます。ただし、これは今回限りの対応ね。今後はちゃんと何かしらの発表をして自分たちで何とかして。はい、わかりました。気をつけます。じゃあ、あとはよろしくお願いしますね。合点承知。
How could you say no to that face, guys? Come on. Like, look. Whoa. Not what I was trying to do. I was trying to, like, point at her face up there. Did something completely different. You guys didn't see that. It was totally an accident, I promise. Relieved, Koshiji-san exits the club room.
なんか大変なことになっちゃったね。でもいいじゃないですか。パーティーなんか楽しそう。確かに楽しそうだけど、ハロウィンパーティーって具体的には何をするの？
Don't ask me, I have no idea.
なんでですか？去年も開催したんだよね。
I mean, I don't know how they do in Japan. I feel like for a school, they'd probably do like a dance or something. It'd probably be like some kind of Halloween dance. They'd probably have like a few activities just for fun. They would of course have like a lot of treats and stuff. I just feel like that's what I imagined when I thought of like a school Halloween party, but I don't know. Maybe my experience was different. Participation is optional. I sat it out.
それって以前に言ってた死んだ魚の目をしてた頃？
Wow, Tsumugi knows the Shuji lore. I have to say, Shiva-san has gotten really good at accidentally roasting my ass.
ああ、先輩ですもんね。そういう派手な場所を避けてたんですね。
Well, Inaba-san has gotten good at doing it on purpose. But she's right, I can't really argue back.
ちなみに私も参加してなくてよくわからないんですが。ああ、ねね先輩ですもんね。そういう派手な場所に出ちゃうとちょっとした騒ぎになりそう。仕方ありませんよ。納得です。
I feel like Nene is certainly popular, but we've already kind of established it's just because she's friendly to everybody, right? I feel like she could go to a party. Okay, I feel like, you know, she'd definitely have a lot of people that would probably say hi to her. I don't feel like she would necessarily be like the object of everyone's attention, though. So it's the different reactions.
星野くんが言った通り、自由参加のパーティーでね、毎年中間考査の後に実施されてるの。文化祭は春、体育祭は夏前にやっちゃってるから、秋のイベントは少ないでしょ。で、学生会主導のイベントを開催したのがきっかけらしいよ。
I think it's good to have things like that that kind of break up the monotony of life.
ちなみに冬もないんですけど。
You don't have like a winter dance?
一時期は12月24日のパーティーなんかも考えられてたそうなんだけどね。集まりが悪くて。
Yeah, I don't think a party right around the holidays would be good because usually you're out of school anyways. You'd rather spend that with your family or friends or a lover, you know? Like you would rather spend it with somebody else, right? Like nobody wants to go to a party. I think you could hold one. So I feel like usually in America, school gets out around like the 20th of December. I think you could hold something maybe on like the last day or the day after, you know, on the 21st. You could maybe get away with something like that, you know, right after school ended. But I feel like if you push it out any further, a lot of people aren't going to want to go.
そうなんですか？クリスマスはやっぱり恋人同士で過ごしたいんじゃないですかね。二人並んで歩いてると冷えた風が吹いて寒いねって手を掴んで自分のポケットに一緒に入れる。そして最後は雪でも降れば。
Well, Meguru clearly has big plans for Christmas. Maybe Christmas will still be kind of a big event. I know it's a more romantic event than Halloween, but I like that the theme is kind of a cult in this, and we got witches. I feel like the big romantic event should definitely be Halloween here. I feel like that would be perfect. You know, we could go trick-or-treating with the girl that we end up choosing, and then maybe like kiss after that, you know? And then they could maybe end something around Christmas, but I don't want Christmas to be that kind of focal point of the story that kind of moves us on to the route. I would rather that be kind of the end of a route. いいね。そういうロマンチックなのっていいよね。You guys.
ですよね。いいですよね。ほらほら、みんなで遊ぶのも悪くないですけど、クリスマスはやっぱり好きな人と。はあ、憧れるな。
I mean, I'm sure in Japan it's a little bit different. For me, Christmas was always a big family event, right? I didn't really see it like super romancy, you know? But things are a little bit different in my household with Christmases now since I have a daughter, and she's finally old enough that I think she'll kind of care about Christmas. Last Christmas, she didn't care at all. She was like, what are we doing? She's just like, oh, I got some presents. Like, she's like, okay, I'm curious about that. I'm going to go see what that is. I think she'll actually be kind of excited about Christmas this year. She's really excited for Halloween too, which I'm happy about. I get where you're coming from, but you know there are plenty of other single people out there too, right? Wait, does everybody have a boyfriend or girlfriend? It's not really normal. I'm about to cry here if so.
クリスマスにパーティーだと恋人探しみたいで恥ずかしくて参加しない子も多かったみたい。あと学院が主催しちゃうとあんまり無茶はできないから、それならカラオケとかに行って自分たちで騒ぐ方が楽しいって意見もあって。 結局各人にお任せってことにね。
That's fair enough. I see the reasoning behind everyone thinking that.
なるほど。まあ冬休みとかお正月とか他にもいろいろイベントはありますもんね。
I don't know. I really liked, and I will say that Cafe Stella did this well. I liked when they did like they did the little festival right at the shrine. I really liked that whole scenario. I think that it was nice, and the cafe had like a reason for being there. We sold like the crepes and stuff. I don't know. I didn't mind that part so much. I think they kind of maybe should have expanded upon it a little bit more, but it was good.
そこら辺が理由かな。あれ、何の話だっけ？
About the Halloween party. What's that usually like?
そうだったね。話を戻すと、パーティーや自由参加、あと簡単な料理と飲み物も準備されてる。出し物はその年によっていろいろ変わるね。ない年もあったはずだよ。まあ、あると盛り上がるんだけど。
Oh, we're not gonna do bingo.
簡単なのだと。
Bingo sounds lame. Wouldn't you need winnable prizes for that?
学生会がパーティーの予算を組んでるから、その中でやりくりしてもらえれば、商品を用意することも可能だよ。
Okay, so we'll need food and drinks, maybe some kind of game to liven things up and someone to run it.
あとね、ここからが重要なんだけど、参加する時の服は自由なんだよ。
No dress code.
それって私服 OK ってことですか？私服 OK、制服も OK、何でも OK。あ、でも裸は NG だよ。あくまで常識の範疇での話ね。
That's what I'm saying. She's always the one that thinks of the dirty thing. So it makes me think like she's trying to put on this goody goody two shoes girl, you know, because she's a student council president, right? Like, well, she was. She had to kind of like put on this certain, you know, persona, right? But she's always the one that like thinks of the dirty thing and says, "Oh yeah, by the way, you can't do that." Either that's how she is secretly, and maybe she kind of is into that stuff, but she's like, "Oh no, I gotta say you can't do that." Or maybe she's just seen people try to bend the rules so much that she's like, okay, by the way, you can't do this dirty thing because I've already had someone try to do that before. You know, I'm the student council president. I've seen some shit, right? But, interesting.
それってもしかして
I think she's gonna be
ハ
kind
ロ
of
ウィン
lewd.
に合わせた衣装でもいいってことですか？
I think when we get into Touko's route, we're gonna find that she's kind of a freaky girl. I think that's what we're gonna find out.
毎年コスプレで参加する子も多いの。まあさすがに行き帰りは普通の服じゃないと怒られるけどね。結構コスプレに力を入れてる子もいてね。まあそこら辺は参加者任せだから何か準備が必要ってわけじゃないけどね。
I hope we get to see all the girls in a really cool costume.
とにかく運営のすべきことは星名くんが言ったことと先生方との折衝もでしょうか。あと体育館の飾り付けとそれらに関する買い出しかな。あ、体育館の使用許可は私が会長の間に申請しておいたから安心して。
Yeah, I would assume that's something that they plan out ahead of time.
なんだか楽しそう。コスプレもありだなんて。あ、運営の人間も楽しんでいいんですかね？
Of course, why would we not be able to enjoy it
も
ourselves?
ちろんだよ。当日にも多少は仕事があるはずだけど、そこは学生会の人間も手伝ってくれるしね。
If we're organizing this, then I guess I have to attend. Oh my gosh, Shuji, don't even pretend you were gonna leave it. He was trying to not even enjoy his own party. Like, what is this guy? That's where all the cute girls are gonna be. Why would you not be there? Or just a jumble of different emotions, which can be nauseating. Yeah, I mean, parties can definitely be overwhelming. But, you know, when you're young, you just gotta enjoy it, okay? Don't wait till you're old, and then you don't have an opportunity to do any of those things, and then you just don't. That's how it is, besides if everyone else is going, then I want to go too.
先輩、今回は逃げられませんか？
I was literally just thinking about how I want to go.
ハロウィンか。なんだかすっごく楽しみになってきたな。パーティーもそうだけど、準備も面白そうだよね。お、乗り気だね。いいねいいね。みんなで一緒に頑張ろう。
Okay, I'm hyped up. Let's do it.
そうだ、一つ大事なことを言い忘れてた。パーティーに参加するには条件があるんだった。
There is.
姫松の学生なら誰でも参加できるんじゃないんですか？違うの。実は
What?
参加が認められない子もいるんだよ。期待させておいて、そんな今さら。
I think it's gonna be something along the lines of like, hey, you have to pass your midterms, like you have to like do reasonably well.
それって一体。と言っても該当者はほとんどいないから、そんなに重く考えなくて平気だよ。中間考査で赤点を取らなければいいだけだから。
That's the only thing I could think of because they're right before the midterms. Alright, the party's right after the midterms.
それだけ。
Just don't fail.
条件が赤点なんでしたら、確かにそれほど心配はなさそう。
College prep tests are one thing, but for midterms and finals, all you need to do is review what you've learned in class and you're set. Doubt any student who made it into the school will have a problem. Oh gosh. Why do they look so depressed?
二人とも顔色が優れないみたいだけど。それって運営だから免除されるなんてことはないね。残念ながら。それって一教科でもこう3ストライク的なものだったりしません？一発アウトだね。残念ながら。
Oh boy, we're gonna have to do some studying, I see.
その反応って、失礼なことを確認しますが、シーバさんは編入試験を受けているんで。そりゃもちろん。でも私が以前にいたところよりもこの学院の方がちゃんと授業で習った箇所と習ってない箇所の隙間があって。勉強はしてるけど。
So what's your excuse, Iruma-san?
乙女にはいろいろと必要な付き合いがあるんです。そのケーキ食べに行ったりとか、服を買いに行ったりとか、あと素材集めとか。
So what you're saying is you've been playing around all year.
ぶっちゃけそういうことです。ちなみに稲葉さん、英語と数学と原告と古典と科学と生物と現代社会と日本史と。
Is that all of them? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 subjects. That sounds like all of them.
ちなみに私は違うよ。数学とか科学とか積み上げが必要になる教科だけかな。
Yeah, you definitely need to build upon things you learned in the past.
つむぎ先輩の裏切り者。
Meguru, it just sounds like you suck. Truth be told, I'm pretty crap at classical Japanese.
それは赤点を取りそうなほどにですか？
I mean, I would fail classical English, so I don't think so. But I haven't ever scored more than a 70 so far.
そうなんですか。これはパーティーのことを抜きで考えても良くない事態ですね。
I can't really talk shit because I would probably not do so well either. I'm not too smart. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. You're not watching me because I'm smart. You're just watching me because I enjoy playing this, and you guys probably get a few laughs of it, I would hope. Occasionally, I do something funny, or I react in a funny way. Sorry about that.
それならもっと早くに言ってくれればよかったのに。わかりました。私でよければ勉強の手伝いをさせていただきます。
That's what I'm saying. Let's just have a big study group, and then everybody can study together.
本当ですか、ねね先輩。ごめんね、迷惑をかけちゃって。気にしないでください。友達なんですから。
Exactly. This is what friends are for.
ねね先輩、ありがとうございます。苦しいです、稲葉さん。
I can also help with anything that's not classical Japanese. It'll work as a solid review anyways.
星野くんもありがとう。
I don't know. They say one of the best ways to learn things is to like teach it, because when you're teaching it, you need to have a solid enough understanding to like explain it to somebody else. And I think like the better you know the material, the more easily you can condense it into a way that somebody can understand. So I just think it's always a good opportunity when you can like study with somebody and you can ask questions, because people think about things in a different way than you, and sometimes that different perspective can help you understand it, because you get so lost in one way of thinking about things. So I definitely encourage studying with other people, or in their case, I encourage them to study together. Not nearly as smart as Aichi-san though, so I don't know how helpful it'll be. Let's be real, I can't afford to slack off either, though. I doubt I'll fail any of the tests as long as I handle things like usual.
ヨーガス、そういうことなら私もお手伝いしましょう。
Alright, we're gonna pass. We're going to pass.
はあ、何その反応。失礼しちゃう。こう見えてもお姉さん、成績はそれなりにいい方だよ。
Oh, of course. Touko probably gets some of the best grades. I mean, she's not student council president for nothing. Well, she was. You guys know what I mean. Wasn't surprised because of that.
戸隠先輩はご自分の勉強もあるのでは？
Exactly, that's what I was getting at.
平気平気。この時期になると授業も一通り終わってて、あとは弱点克服とかに目を向けられてるから、試験も実力テストとそう変わらないの。
Yeah, so she's looking more into getting into like college.
そうなんですか。大変そうですね。範囲がないって。大変なのですよ。だから一部を重点的にじゃなく、全体的に勉強する必要があって、1、2年生の授業内容を復習するのはいいことだから。
Yeah, I don't think it would hurt. Like, it's not like you're gonna hurt yourself by learning things that you should already know.
それに、これもパーティーを成功させるのに必要なことだもん。ぜひ手伝わせてほしいな。
Look at Touko, such a good friend, guys.
そういうことでしたら、お願いできますか？うん、任せて。よろしくお願いします。はい、一緒にパーティーに出席できるよ。わからないことは何でも聞いてね。
I guess I'm not really needed if we have those two. That makes it easier on me, so I won't complain. What do we do now? We don't have to start the actual preparations of the party yet, but we should at least have a simple schedule down.
確かにそうですね。戸隠先輩、今までは準備にどれぐらいかかっていましたか？そうだね。食事はケータリング、サンドイッチとか巻き寿司とか手で食べられる簡単なものだけ。これは連絡だけで手間はかからないかな。
I like how sushi is their idea of like simple food. Whereas sushi here is like, oh, that's fancy.
飲み物は運営がペットボトルを用意するけど、当日あれば問題なし。
I don't think I would wait to do anything the day of the party. I would definitely buy that ahead of time so you make sure you get enough.
買いに行くなら飾り付けと一緒に買い出しに行ってもいいし、人手があるなら1日で済むはずだよ。一番作業が多いのは体育館の飾り付けだけど、これは中間考査の後じゃないと動けない。人手も時間も必要になるから。
I mean, I'm sure the gym's being used for PE and stuff anyways.
飾り付けは学生会も手伝ってくれる予定だから、やっぱりアイディア出しが一番大変かな。あと実現させるための交渉とかね。
We should go all Haruhi Suzumiya and do like a performance with like a band. We should like sing and stuff. Like that would be awesome. I think that was probably one of my favorite parts of the anime. It was just awesome seeing Haruhi just rocking out. And I mean, they actually got a singer to voice her. So it just made sense that they had a musical part, and it was awesome. It lived up to the hype for sure. Really does know what she's doing. And I think that'd be cool if we did a band. Is it gonna happen? No, but I think it would be awesome. A little rude of me, but she always comes across as so relaxed and nonchalant. She really has it together though.
となると、実際に動くのはテスト後がほとんどということで大丈夫でしょうか?
I think we could definitely think of the game. I think that's something we could probably brainstorm just casually throughout our day.
そうだね。ただ必要なもののリストなんかは早めに出してる方がいいかも。よく買い忘れとかあるからね。
think it would be important to get statistics of how many people actually show up to these kind of things, so we know that how many drinks and how much food to bring.
ありがとうございます。大変参考になりました。
But you know what? We're not going to need the statistics because we're going to break them. We're going to break all the records. We're going to have more people here than ever before.
それでは、ひとまず今週はパーティーの出し物について考えましょう。
We're going to have Nene show off her other outfit, and we're going to say this is what you can see if you show up. The whole school will be there. Like majority, like 90%.
ラジャーです。
We're going to have the biggest record ever.
ただし、この企画立案については私と星名くん、戸隠先輩で行います。ねね先輩たちだけでですか？めぐるちゃんと私はもちろん勉強です。今週中にどこが弱点なのか、まずそれをピックアップしてもらいます。
Right, then you can focus on those areas during the break from club activities next week.
わかった。それじゃあ今は自分の方に集中するよ。力になれなくて申し訳ないんだけど。いえ、まずはちゃんと参加できるように頑張りましょう。でも星野先輩も古典がやばいんですよね。
I only said I'm not good at it. Stop putting words in my mouth and worry about yourself.
はーい。
Yeah, I don't want to hear this from the girl that thinks she's gonna fail all 8 subjects.
パーティーの企画に関しては今週中に決めてしまいます。内容ではなく時間を優先させていきましょう。ちょっと残念だけど仕方ないね。内容にこだわりすぎてテストに影響を出したり本番で失敗したりする方がまずいからね。
Sorry, Senpai, but can you put together the programs from the last 2 years for us?
ヨーガス、明日には確認できるようにまとめておくね。
Sorry for the extra work.
当然のことだよ。
I mean, I think it's always good to look at how things were done in the past just to give you kind of a baseline. It's like you don't have to follow that, and you might do something completely different, but you can get an idea of what like the expectation is for something like that, and then kind of go based off of that. Like if you see like, okay, this is how things were done and this was the attendance rate, like if you think that's kind of low, like maybe just do something completely different. Do something that people will be curious about attending and they'll want to see, you know, how it turns out.
では基本的にはこのねえねえ、追加でちょっといいかな。何か問題がありました？問題なんてないよ。あくまで追加の提案。それは全員ですか？全員。勉強会っていうの？
Okay, let's do it. That's what I wanted.
あ、なんだか楽しそう。遊ぶわけじゃないよ。それはわかっ。でも気持ちはわかる。合宿とかお泊まり会とかそういう雰囲気って楽しそうだよね。
I doubt it'll be a sleepover because of course we can't sleep over a bunch of girls.
勉強会。そうですね。
Where should we do it? Club activities are suspended after Friday. The school won't be accessible over the weekend, will it?
じゃあファミレスとかですかね。できればもう少し静かに集中できるところの方がいいんじゃないか。静かでこの人数が入れるところ。
Is someone gonna volunteer their house? Somebody here is probably rich. Where would be good? The town library. That's a little far away, though. It'd be a hassle to getting there.
ちなみにねね先輩のお家とかダメですか？
Ooh, we can see her house.
私のお家で一度行ってみたいと思ってたんです。あ、でも迷惑でしたら言ってください。迷惑だとは思いませんが。それじゃあうちでしますか？
Okay, we can see Nene's house. I'm actually excited about that.
大丈夫なの？ご家族の迷惑にならない？
She's gonna be like, no, I live alone.
平気です。私は一人暮らしなので。
Everyone here lives alone, apparently.
そうなんだ。でも全員で5人だよ。一人暮らしの部屋だと大変じゃない？
She's like, no, I live in a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2 garages house.
大丈夫だと思いますよ。5人ぐらいなら。ちょっと広めの部屋を借りているので。
Apartment I'm renting is a little big.
そっか。話してたらなんだかあやちさんの部屋に興味が出てきたかも。
She's gonna like have a luxury flat in downtown.
それじゃあお言葉に甘えてお邪魔させてもらおうか。やったー！ね
I'm gonna be pissed if she has like this beautiful place that has this amazing $1 million view. And she's son's apartment and she lives alone.
Ah, Majiero senpai no me da. Nanka yarashii koto o kangaeteru.
What? Why do we have to think about something dirty? Completely baseless assumption.
何慌ててるんですか？本当にやらしい。ねえねえ先輩、この人きっとクローゼットとか漁るつもりですよ。
Hey, stop talking nonsense. It sounds nice, but I'm way too big of a wimp to actually do it.
うわー、胸を張って何言ってるんですか？星野くんは正直だね。お姉さん、正直な子は好きだよ。
I am pretty honest, aren't I? Okay.
二人は本当に仲がいいね。
No, but really, please don't joke about that stuff. I feel okay. I'm getting a new feeling from Touko. Okay, after she said that, I feel like Touko is like the mommy character. She's like, oh, just let me take care of you. You know, I like a good boy. She's the kind of character that maybe if they took her to an extreme would have you on all fours walking like a dog. Like she's gonna be pretty controlling. I definitely got the vibe from her that she tries to act innocent, but maybe is a little bit freaky. And now I'm seeing it. Okay, we're seeing it for sure.
全員参加でいいんですね。はーい。よろしくお願いします。お世話になるね。
By the way, do you not mind me coming too? Obviously not about to do what Inaba-san mentioned, but I thought you might feel uncomfortable with a guy coming over.
そんなことありませんよ。むしろ参加してもらわないと困ります。
Okay, we're rizzing up Nene. No, she's actually just talking about the fact that she has uncontrollable orgasms. Really, what do you mean?
だって長時間一緒となるといつものが来た時に困りますから。
Oh, that's what she meant. Well, my weekend just got a lot more interesting. That's for sure. We like an interesting weekend.
サノバウィッチ。
Sanoba Witchy. ... I couldn't sleep. I couldn't stop thinking about how I'll be visiting Aichi-san's apartment today. Okay, maybe you are a little bit perverted. Got you excited, huh? Just going for a boring group study session, so why am I so nervous? I'm just excited because I think Touko's gonna be there. It's gonna be nice. And to think of it, should I bring a little gift? I mean, it's just a study session and Aichi-san is living on her own, so maybe that'd be going overboard. You should do what I've seen every other person that goes over for studying. They bring snacks. Just bring snacks. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to bring... Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should buy some on the way there. Yeah, I guess. Look at our dad being so observant. Just going for a study session for the upcoming midterms. With my friends, why? Yeah, sure, when I get the chance. That'd probably just be Kaido if I do. I just know he'd freak out if I brought the girls over. Yeah, I feel bad that Hideki is like kind of left out of this, and Wakana's left out of this too. Holy shit! Oh, that scared me. Look at that. Best girl or what? Like, I'm telling you guys. Like, it scared me because she looked so good. Like, I actually, like, freaked out for a second. I was like, wow. That's not an outfit I expected her to wear, and it looks so good. Anyways. And then you got Shiba, who's just, you know, covering up. I mean, I understand she has a little bit of a condition. She has to. Gosh, dang. I didn't think they could make her look better. Like... Ohio. Okay. Morning. It is a great morning. We have been blessed.
楽しみだな。ねね先輩の家。一人暮らしなんだから普通のアパートじゃないのかな。ただの 1LDK ですよ。そっか。でもそうだね。女の子なんだから部屋は区切っておきたいよね。
That makes a lot more sense why she's comfortable inviting a guy like me over.
ワコードとしてはちょっと残念だったりする？
No, not at all. See?
本当に？なんだかちょっと残念そうな顔してたよ。
If anything, I'm relieved. I'll feel less nervous this way.
誰にも言ったりしないからお姉さんにだけ正直に言っちゃいなよ。ほれほれ。
See, she's got like this mommy-dommy vibe to her. What are you doing, senpai? I mean, I think the signs have been there, but like a few certain things she said have really like brought it to my attention. I'm like, oh. They're close, super close, they're almost touching me. Maybe if I used my elbow, I could write it off as an accident. Wait, that's a bad idea. My guy is thinking about how to cop a feel. I wasn't thinking anything like that, I mean it.
そうなの？
Really, I mean, being a healthy young man, I do think those things from time to time, but I'm a chicken, okay?
君は本当に正直な子だね。
She likes that, though. Because we're having a study session today, don't give me any weird ideas. Come on, senpai, we're gonna get left behind.
はいはい。
Dang, I feel like she's trying to rizz us up. Like, it's actually crazy. Kushi senpai finally pulls away from me with a coquettish smile on her face. So different from the other girls. I never know what to expect from her. That's why she's best girl, because she doesn't act like the other girls. She's so good.
星名くん、置いてくよ。
I'm coming. Of course she has the freaking nice apartment with the nice view. Look how giant that TV is. Gosh, dang. She's got plants. It's nice.
広っ！リビング広っ！こんなの 1LDK じゃないですよ。
Oh, this is absolutely luxury. Technically, it's a one-bedroom apartment. Living room alone looks to be 30 square meters. This living room is probably bigger than most people's like apartments. Like that have like more than one bedroom. It's bigger than most. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. She really have this entire freaking place to herself.
適当にしてください。あ、はい、どうもです。なんだか落ち着かないね。いやー、私もこれには驚いた。
And she has my favorite. I love those built-in lights. Like those are great. This is my vibe here. I would live in this apartment for sure. Aishi's-san tilts her head in puzzlement. Is her family rich or something? Now I'm more nervous about the difference in our living standards than the fact that I'm visiting a girl's home.
でも綺麗に片付いてるんだね。一人暮らしってもう少し散らかってるのかと思ってた。みんなが来ることは事前に分かってるんですから掃除をしていますよ。もしかして自分の部屋のクローゼットとかに無理やり押し込んだ感じですか？そうですね。確かにちょっと片付けきれていないところがあるかもしれません。だから変なところは触らないでくださいね。そう言われるとちょっと探索したくなっちゃうな。例えばそこの引き出しとか。なんちゃって。
Oh gosh, Aichi's scary.
冗談ですよ。
Inaba-san gave in right away to Aichi-san's ominous stare. I feel you, Inaba-san. Aichi can be scary as hell. Just don't walk into her doing something in the library. You seriously just try to pull the same stunt you warned me not to do.
異性と同性じゃ同じじゃないです。ダメだよ。
What are these double
今日
standards?
は勉強のために来たんだから横道にそれるようなことしちゃ。
Yeah, I'm here to study something, okay? I'm here to study two
はーい。
things.
じゃあ早速始めようか。机はそこのを使ってください。今お茶を入れますから。
I'll help you.
いえ、お茶ぐらい一人で大丈夫ですから。
Yeah. Well, I guess I'd only get in the way if I tried to help her in the kitchen I've never set foot in before. Okay, then take this. I brought some snacks.
わざわざありがとうございます。
Guess I'll leave that to her and get to studying.
基本的にここら辺は暗記するしかありません。 ですから演習、間違えたら問題を見直し、これを繰り返すのが一番だと思います。毎日同じ問題を解くだけでも違ってくるものですよ。
Yeah, there's some stuff you just have to learn by repetition.
それにしたって、それじゃあここからここまでをまず完璧に覚えましょう。ここの基礎を覚えてしまえば次も覚えやすいですから。
I know I have a hard time just memorizing all the characters. I can't do it. I mean, I could if I really stuck to it, but I've tried for weeks on end, and I feel like I don't get very far. Letter complains Inaba-san is studying diligently. Aichi-san is not only teaching her the subject matter, but also advising her the best ways to study in general. In Inaba-san's case, the problem is that she missed some lessons in the middle, so she doesn't need constant attention. Fukukushi-senpai is answering her questions every now and then, but otherwise is focusing on her own studies. I don't need anyone looking over my shoulder either. As long as I have my textbooks, I don't have a problem figuring everything out. The only exception being classical Japanese. I just don't get it. Basically, I need to properly memorize the auxiliary verbs and vocabulary, but for some reason I can't seem to keep them in my head when it comes to classical Japanese. But I just hate it too much to concentrate on it. If the test scope wasn't clear, I would never be able to pass it. Even with tests with a clear scope, I just barely scrape by with scores just above 50. That's good enough for me. I'm sure I can pull off that kind of score this time too. And there's no need to try any harder. Have Togakushi-senpai tutor me? That's tempting. I'm assuming that's not the choice I need to make though, which is unfortunate. I am gonna save Togakushi for a little bit later in the story, just because I feel like, you know, you gotta save the best things in life for last. Because I gotta do Nene last. So I'm probably gonna do Meguru, because that's who I said I was going for right now. I'm gonna do Meguru, maybe Wakana, because you have to do at least one route for her. And then Shiba, Togakushi, and then save Nene for last. Let's go ahead and put it this side for now. Pretty sure I won't fail the midterms at least. I guess I'll focus on another subject for now. There's something you're not getting. Yeah, that one's a little tricky. Probably. I understood the concept pretty well when we were taught it in class, though now you're asking me about it, I'm just not so sure. We're gonna solve it together? Okay. You know, it sounds like that's probably what we're gonna be doing. Oh shit, it says I'm supposed to go with the other route. Hold up, we're going back. Can I go back? It says I'm actually supposed to have her, and I'm not joking, it says it right here, okay? It's not just because I want, it's not just because I want to, get more time with Togakushi, I promise. Because, yeah, it says have Togakushi-senpai tutor me. Okay. Yeah, I'm a moment, Togakushi-senpai. Yeah, I need you to help me with something in the bedroom over there. But this translation of Chikariba? Chikariba? Chikariba?
どれどれ? ああ、今昔物語集だね。
Monogatari?
らへん同士、しかりの未然形に場がついた接続詞だから、そのようであるとところでの2種類の意味があるんだよ。あとは本文に合わせてどっちを選ぶかだね。
Okay, I guess it'd be the form in this case. By the way, would be weird.
そうだね。確かにそのようであるで合ってる。でもそこで満足せずにそもそもの意味をちゃんと覚えないとダメだよ。
Yes, ma'am. I feel like Touko is like the definition of she could fix me. Classical Japanese is such a hassle.
そうかもね。覚えることも多いからね。あ、古文の読解は現代語訳と合わせて確認すると覚えやすいかもだよ。それに 現代文だと出題されるのは無数にあるけど、古文だと数に限りがあるでしょ。まあそれでも結構数はあるけど、でも一度読むだけでも運が良ければ。
Oh, that's true. She has a good point. It certainly wouldn't hurt to read the modern Japanese translation of a famous work.
私が使ってた参考書あげようか。解説とかも分かりやすくておすすめだから。
Really? If you don't mind. No, wait. You can just tell me which book it is. I'll get my own copy. You need yours for your own studies, right?
そんなの別に気にしないでもいいのに。
No, I couldn't possibly.
でもな。
What is it?
星野くんには何かの形でお礼をしなくちゃいけないって思ってるんだよね。
You're more than welcome to pay me back. You pay me for what? What did I ever do to her?
隊長戦のことというよりも小志寺さんのことでかな。
Did we riz her up? We literally destroyed Koshiji-san's chances of getting together with Touko because we were the ones who rizzed her up?
星野くん、小志寺さんのことに気づいてたでしょ。私をパフェに誘ったの。パフェが食べたいなんて嘘だよね。
It wasn't a lie. I really did want to try their parfaits.
でも私と小志寺さんの組み合わせで誘ったのには他に理由があったんじゃないのかな。
Of course she catched on to that. I'm sorry I tricked you that night.
さすがに騙されたとまでは思ってないよ。それに怒ってもない。おかげで小志寺さんが会長になってくれたわけだからね。だからむしろ。
Oh no, it was nothing that did anything
そんな
special.
ことないよ。小志寺さんの気持ちに私は全然気づけてなくて。私昔からそういうことに鈍くってね。今回も星野くんがいなかったら私はずっとひどいことをしてたままかもしれないでしょ。
It's nice to hear how much she cared for her though. Like she's like acknowledging like, hey, I was a little bit oblivious about it. But like she clearly caught on as the night went on. She's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here.
だから感謝してる。
Gave her kind of the opportunity to give her something that she couldn't have, right? And then, you know, clear things up. And all I did was go eat a parfait with them and then make them go to the arcade together. It would have been one thing if her confession had succeeded, but she was rejected as expected. Getting thanked for that honestly feels awkward. Anyways, you don't need to worry about repaying me. I really didn't do much. I just feel embarrassed and awkward when you talk about repaying me.
そうなの？でも私の気が。でもセクシャルなお礼はできないからね。
Paying me sexual favors will put me in an even more awkward position, so please don't.
ふむ。それではお礼の代わりに私がこのまま古典を教えてあげましょう。いい？イカ様には形容動詞イカ様なりの連用形でどのようにっていう意味で。
I wonder why she says that would put her in an awkward position. Maybe just because they're not like in a relationship, you know? Or she has a boyfriend. Dun dun dun. That'd be interesting if she had somebody she likes already and we like tried to win her over. I like how they really zoom in on it. Listen up. Ikasamani is a continual form of the adjective. Ikasumanari means how. Hold on a second.
何？どこかわからないところがある？
No, that's not it. You're just really close, senpai.
でも教科書は星野くんの一冊だけなんだから。
I mean, yeah, I guess, but that was touching me considering something like this happened earlier. She's doing this on purpose, isn't she? That's what I'm saying. She acts like she's this goody two-shoes girl. She knows. Because I can't stop myself from looking at her cleavage. There's no way I'd be able to concentrate like this.
顔真っ赤だよ。
Huh? Are you sticking this close to me on purpose?
あー、やらしい。変なこと考えちゃってる。
I'm so glad I get to experience this because I'm glad I looked. I just wanted to be sure, like, because I don't want to screw like an ending up. And then it's like, yeah, go with Tokushi. I feel like that one you probably could have done either, but I gotta follow the list, guys. It said to go with Toku. Yeah, I just had to. I'm sorry. You know full well what you're doing, don't you?
何をかな？
Oh well, you're purposely.
ほれほれ、お姉さんが何をわざとやっているのか、その可愛いお口で聞かせてほしいな。
Holy shit. Touko is just like my favorite kind of character. I love girls that like just know. Like they try to act innocent if they know what they're doing. And she's doing it. Ooh. Can't say I can't possibly tell you that your boobs are almost touching my arm and I can't stop thinking about your cleavage. Well, the cat's out of the bag with this one. Who cares about that anyways? You just have to cut this out. I like teasing, I guess. I think teasing is fun. I guess that's what I like girls that kind of like tease the main character. I knew you were doing it on purpose. We're gonna get no stunning then today. It's not that I don't like it. It makes me anxious, so please stop. Didn't you say you couldn't do anything sexual? It was an accident. Oh yeah, gotcha. Fucking cleavage leaves my sides. Part of me is relieved, but part of me misses it a little. No thanks. You enjoy teasing people a lot, don't you? I could tell back when we ate parfaits together. Oh well, if it's out of love. I'm honored, but I seriously can't concentrate that way, so please spare me. Well, it literally just looks like she's wearing like something under her clothes, and it just looks like she just ripped them open. Like, I don't feel like that's how you're supposed to wear that outfit. Because, like, look, there's buttons, like, kind of on the sides there. So it looks like it's supposed to be closed, and she just literally ripped it open and is, like, showing kind of like an undershirt. It's really seductive. Never met anyone like her before, it's just to understand what she's thinking. She's best girl, that's what she's thinking. And then Meguru. They're really giving us a lot of Touko time. I feel like this episode's been very much focused on Touko, which is interesting because I'm not trying to go down her route yet. How about we talk about the party? Would make for a nice change of pace. This is kind of what I thought they were gonna do. And like, don't get me wrong, I know I like Touko a lot, so I kind of give her extra attention. But I mean, Nene looks great too. I really like Nene's outfit. It's more like preppy though. I think it's more like high end. And then of course, you know, she has to wear a hoodie. Which kind of sucks. As in, it got a little bit dark in here. What the?
リモコンと見つかりませんか？ちょっと待ってくださいね。
Oh no.
ありましたよ。でも、あれ？
I knew it. I saw this coming in my mind. As soon as they said remote, I'm like, oh shit.
うちのリモコンとちょっと違いますね。
I feel like I've seen that remote before. Where could I have seen a small pink remote? What are you holding there?
だから。
Hold on a second. It's not a remote for Aichi-san's secret weapon. Okay, wait, I need to calm down. Aichi-san is a girl. There's something strange about her simply liking the color pink. I think it's strange because I have my mind in the gutter. Right, tell me. I'm right, Aichi-san. She's struck speechless. Now I'm convinced there's no mistaking it. That's not for turning on the lights, it's for turning on Aichi-san. Why didn't she hide it? Well, it doesn't matter. Exactly, why would she just have that laying around? Aichi-san is gonna die.
それ、違う。じゃあ、明るくしますね。待って、稲葉さん、ちょっと待ってください。はい。それ、ダメ。そのスイッチ、ダメ。なんで片言？とにかく、それは違うんです。そのスイッチは違いますから。あ、そうなんですか？じゃあ、このリモコンは何です？エアコンやテレビじゃないみたいです。起爆スイッチです。起爆？
It's a remote detonator. I just love this little little Aichi freaking out with her hands. This is great.
そのスイッチを押すとこの部屋は爆発しま
Dude,
す。
bomb us
自
all.
爆しちゃうんです。なんでそんな恐ろしいスイッチがある？
It's her part. We're supposed to be a secret layer for a supervillain.
そのスイッチは違いますから押さないで。押しちゃダメ。ダメなんです。
Look over here. Isn't that the remote for the lights? Point at a rectangular white remote with many buttons.
ああ、なんだ、そっちですか。
I'll turn on the lights so you can come back
よ
over
ろし
here
くお願
now.
いします。
Aichi-san, here.
ありがとう。
Yeah, don't worry about it. Anyways, is this the remote for your egg?
え、何ですか？
Can't just keep pretending to be a dense anime protagonist whenever you're in trouble.
だってもうやだ。お家帰る。
I'm going home. You are home.
違うんですよ。これはそのたまに強い波が来た時に、毎回じゃないんです。
I mean, we're not gonna get into that, okay? That's not what I want to talk about. But, you know, what you do in your own spare time, not gonna judge. Never asked you about that. Calm down.
すべては契約のせいなんです。
Yeah, okay, the contract.
契約。もうやだ。ありえない、ありえない、ありえない。こうなったら死ぬしか。
Calm down, I haven't said anything.
目が語ってるんです。ローターを使っちゃう変態だって。
No, you're not a pervert for having needs, okay? Well, but hers are especially bad. But just in general, you're not weird for having desires. They're natural. Not thinking anything like that. Though I was wondering why it was still out.
違いますよ。実は今現在も使ってるなんてことはありませんから、そんな変態じゃないんです。ちゃんと片付けてます。本体は片付けたんです。
Okay, I don't need to know the details then, eh? If there's anything else you got to put away, is there? We're all good now, right?
大丈夫です。
Took you that long to think about it. Why do you still sound so unsure? How many things do you have? Yeah, exactly. How much is hidden? I'm a little curious. I shouldn't intrude in her private matters any more than this.
大丈夫。大丈夫なはず。絶対大丈夫です。おそらくきっと。
Your eyes tell a different story, Aichi-san.
それじゃあパーティーの話をしよっか。ずっと勉強してたので知らないんですけど、今はどんな感じなんですかね。
That's something they do in Japan. They close all their blinds at night. I mean, I'm not saying I don't do that either. I mean, I definitely close the blinds at night just because it's getting ready for bed and stuff. You don't want people looking in at you. That'd be weird. But I mean, she's pretty high up. I feel like I wouldn't even bother closing them if you had like a high-rise apartment. Like I live on a ground floor, so I don't want people looking in, you know, like just it's nighttime. I want privacy, and I wouldn't worry about it as much if I was up that high.
軽食の方は予約を済ませて、ソフトドリンクもネットでなるべく安いものを注文しています。パーティースタッフについては学生会と話もしてシフトを組んでいるところです。飾り付けもついでにネットで頼んで学院に置かせてもらえるように許可をもらいました。できるだけセールを行っている通販を利用して費用を抑えて、忘れてしまったものだけ買い出しに行く予定です。おお、知らない間に準備が整ってる。やっぱりあやちさんは優秀だね。私の手伝いなんて必要ないぐらいだよ。そんなことはありません。戸隠先輩のお話が聞けたからこそ。
Well, she was right about that. Aichi-san has still been really impressive. After hearing how the previous parties were run, she really knew right away what could be done better. She was even able to persuade the teachers on anything that could be problematic. Things were proceeding so smoothly that there was never a need for me to get involved. I haven't actually touched any of the organization work at all.
おお、じゃあ順調なんだね。出し物以外は？出し物は何もないんですか？あるよ。吹奏楽部が協力してくれるから。それじゃあダメなんですか？
I know, we need a band. Need singing.
ダメということはありません。ただ実際にパーティーをしてみないことには。パーティーの主役は集まった学生だから、 舞台をあんまり派手にする必要はないんだけど、舞台のタイムスケジュールを文化祭みたいに埋める必要はない。でも保険としてもう一つぐらいみんなでこうグワーってグワーですか？
I replay that.
グワーですか？グワーですか？
I love that.
グワーですか？
What?
騎馬戦とか？
Calvary what? That's really lighten things up if it were a sports
パン
festival.
食い競争？
Why do you keep bringing up typical sport festival? That's
じゃあ演劇は？それも考えたんだけど、文化祭ならともかくパーティーで長時間舞台に注目し続けるのは。
as we wouldn't be able to get the drama club to put together a show on such short notice. We need a band. That's what I'm saying. Because we can have dancing. Like people could be dancing and partying. We need like a band, like rocking out or something. We need, or a DJ. If you really want to just do whatever, just do a DJ.
もう3年は引退していて、春の文化祭の演目でも練習が必要になりますね。そうですか。あ、じゃあハロウィンにちなんでお菓子交換タイム。参加者は全員お菓子を用意してみんなで交換し合うんです。それはむしろクリスマスのイベントじゃないですか。
I mean, candy does fit Halloween, though. There might be might be a bit daunting if participation is mandatory. Really want something everyone can participate in at their leisure and still have fun for those who don't want to participate. And, how about a costume contest?
コスプレコンテスト？
There's a lot of students wear Halloween costumes at the party, right?
毎年そこそこいるよ。
Actually, I think that's a wonderful idea. We should definitely do that.
今回のパーティーでは
No, that's too much to ask for. Talking about voting on who put the most effort in their costume looks the best in their
ミ
costume.
スコンみたいな感じで。
Yeah. Doesn't have to be as grand though. You don't need to submit your entry, but you need to submit your entry, but you wouldn't have to do anything special like presenting yourself on stage. No separate brackets for boys and girls. And as for the prizes, maybe something like school cafeteria meal tickets. We can fit that in our budget, right?
確かにそれぐらいの余裕はありますが。
If it's just casting vote, everyone can participate, no problem.
そうかそうか、なるほどね。確かにそれなら盛り上がりそうだね。水着審査とか変なこともしなくて済むならエントリーする人もそれなりにいる気はするね。
Yeah, cosplay contests always go well. I remember when I went to BlizzCon one year. I really liked seeing everybody like dressed up and like how fancy their cosplays were. They really went all out and like wow. But that's something fun that like people who don't personally want to cosplay can participate in. I didn't dress up whatsoever. But it was fun to watch other people do it. Other people that really care about that kind of thing.
確かにそうですね。いざ蓋を開けたら一人もいないという事態もありえないわけじゃないですしね。
Yeah, our school was definitely weird about participating in things because nobody wanted to run for student council president.
それなら大丈夫だよ。最低でも。
You know anyone who participate? I wonder who the 5 are.
ここにいるでしょ。
Wow, shocker. 1, 2.
3、4、5。
Hell yeah, we get to see her dressed up. Okay, I like this plan.
これなら少なくとも盛り下がるってこと。
Oh, yeah. And the school idols Aichi-san, Tokukushi-senpai, and Inaba-san and Shiba-san are no slouches either. I'm sure they get students fired up. You could bet on any of them winning if the others weren't there and make bank. Aren't I a little unnecessary in this equation?
必要。男の子でも参加できるってアピールをするためにはね。
He's right. Well, I guess that makes sense.
でもそれって私たちは絶対にコスプレをしなくちゃいけないってことだよね。そういうこと。なんか普通だね。めぐるちゃんは恥ずかしくないの？もしかして経験ある？いえ、自分も初めてですよ。そりゃちょっとは恥ずかしいですけど。でもコスプレした方が楽しそうじゃない。こうして準備から手伝うんです。せっかくだからパーティーを目いっぱい楽しみたいじゃないです。そりゃあ、それに別にエッチな格好をしなきゃいけないわけじゃないんで、コスプレする人が他にもたくさんいるならチャレンジしてみるのもいいかなって。
I feel like if anybody, it's actually going to be a little bit difficult for Samugi. Just with her restrictions on what she can wear.
それはそうかもしれないけど。
You not want to wear a costume, Shiba-san?
そう聞かれると嫌っていうほどじゃないかな。じゃあ一緒にコスプレしてみましょうよ、つむぎ先輩。こういうチャンスはなかなかないんですから。あんまり恥ずかしくないのなら。もちろんですよ。自分だって恥ずかしいコスプレはしたくありませんよ。あやちさんもコンテストでいい？まあ変なコスプレをせず目立つこともしなくて済むのであれば私も異論はありません。
She's too used to having to wear something embarrassing. She doesn't want to do that.
衣装はどうします？それならお任せ。みんなの分も私が用意するから。と言っても正確には被服部にお願いするつもりだから。いくら被服部と言っても急に数人分作るなんて大変じゃないですか？今からお願いすれば大丈夫だよ。被服部の部長さんとは友達だから。あの子可愛い子の服を作るのが私服の時間だって。あやちさんにシーバさん、稲葉さんの服なら喜んで。というか向こうから頼んでくるぐらいだよ。それじゃあお言葉に甘えてもいいですか？じゃあ決まり？これは楽しそうなことになってきたな。ですね。パーティー頑張りましょう。
Yeah, I'm excited with how this party is turning out. I really like the idea. I mean, it just kind of fits naturally with the Halloween theme to do a costume party. I was wondering what they were gonna do to kind of make it special. That sounds really nice.
じゃあ稲葉さん、ちゃんとパーティーに出席するためにも。嫌なことを思い出させないでくださいよ。
Gosh, you guys are still gonna study more? You've been studying all day. I couldn't do that. My brain would be fried.
今日はお疲れ様でした。お疲れ様。いやー、勉強しすぎて今日覚えたことを忘れちゃ意味がないですよ。ちゃんと反復して覚えましょうね。分かってます。あやちさん、今日は部屋を貸してくれて。いえ、みんなで勉強できて楽しかったですよ。私も楽しかった。
Thanks for helping me study today.
いえ、いつも助けてもらっているのは私ですから。稲葉さんはどうかな？赤点回避できそう？まだ自信はないですけど、ねね先輩の教えを無駄にはしません。期待していますね、稲葉さん。はい、頑張ります。
I mean, I don't think she'll pass just based off one day of studying, but sure. Anyways, we shouldn't stand around here chatting forever, so.
そうだね。じゃあまた来週。ありがとうございました、ねね先輩。今日はお邪魔しました。
Have a nice weekend, Ayachi-san.
はい、お疲れ様で。
Oh, we got to see her apartment. That was nice.
私は電車だからここで。お疲れ様。お疲れ様です。今日はありがとうございました。テスト赤点取らないように頑張ろうね。それじゃあまたね。
Yeah, see you at school. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Alright, you both live in the same direction, right? I've already come this far, so I may as well see you two home.
いいですって。ここからなら家はすぐそこですから。それにつむぎ先輩と一緒なんです。そこまで心配しなくても大丈夫ですよ。
I do like that they have this culture of like walking somebody home. I mean, you could definitely find that, you know, in the United States as well, but the United States is a lot less walkable, so the most part you would be driving someone home and just watching them to make sure they got in their house okay. But the reason I mentioned I like this culture of them walking each other home is that like Japan's already so safe, so I feel like it's just a nice gesture. It's not like it's like a necessary thing. You don't need to walk someone home, you know, you're probably going to be safe anyways, just because their crime rate's so low there. But I don't know, it's nice to me. It's really friendly.
そうだよ。気持ちは嬉しいけど星名くんの家とは逆方向だよね。駅に来るだけでも遠回りしてもらってるのに。だから先輩、今日はここで。ありがとうございました。お疲れ様。それじゃあね、バイバイ。
Bye bye. You two, see you two on Monday. Well, time for me to go home as well. Having partied with everyone, I walked my way back home. I studied up for the midterms, the party is coming along well, that's great and all, but I wonder if there's anything else I can do to make the party better. Preparations have been progressing steadily, but it's mostly just Aichi-san and Togakushi-senpai doing all the work. Even with the costume contest, it'll be the girls getting the party goers excited, not me. But I wasn't able to be much help during the study session either. An event like this doesn't come around often, I really want to help out too. And I really am just acting strange. I've never really cared about a school event before. Why do I want to help out so much? I guess it just seems like it'd be a lot of fun. Oh, Wakana time. Let's go. Karia, what are you doing here? Oh, practicing this close to midterms, huh? I like how much laughing there was and then just a sigh. I mean, you definitely need to take breaks. You can't just study all day. I feel like that would be horrifying. One hell of a sigh. Must have caught her trying to escape from reality. I've tried to escape from reality all the time and I'm still here, so... What kind of practice are you doing? Street performances? Oh, can you do that by yourself? I always figured that was something only bands could do. That's cool. You don't do street performance. Then how about forming a band? Been at this for a while though. It's been a few years, right? How about testing the waters a little? Want to try showing off your guitar skills in front of some fellow students? Oh, are we gonna recruit her for a little musical performance? Yeah. Like I said. The following week flew by. Oh, we're doing a time skip. I thought they were gonna skip to Monday just because they kept talking about, oh, we'll see you Monday. But we are in chapter 3. We're part 3 of chapter 4. So I think I'll end it here. I mean, it's been a little bit longer of a video, but I was also gone for a while, so I think you guys deserve that. I know you guys have been looking forward to me continuing the series and continuing G Senjo, and I'll hopefully do that soon. I'm finally starting to feel a little bit better. I was kind of sick for a while, and then I just had other things going on. You know, I have a life outside of these videos, and yeah, possibly starting a new job here soon, so I'll have that going on. My schedule will be a little bit different. Let's see how that goes. I might have less time, but we'll figure that one out. Anyways, I'm gonna be continuing on. Hopefully we'll get to the Halloween party within the next episode. I don't know. I'm assuming we're gonna have midterms, so it might be like 2 episodes, 2 or 3. I don't know. Just depends on how long the midterms are gonna be, and then the Halloween preparations. We'll see how that goes. But hopefully we're getting somewhat close to the routes. Maybe. Who knows? Anyways, I'll leave it off here, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.